Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory to Jesus Christ.
You're close. You're close. You're going to respond, glory to Him forever.
Glory to Him forever.
Very good. That's how we say hello. See, we're Eastern, so it's always more complex. It's always longer, right? So in case you aren't maybe aware of who I am as an Eastern Catholic, what that might be, I'm going to take you through 2,000 years of history in 2 minutes, okay, using my poor man's PowerPoint presentation. First of all, I need to ask you a few questions. Number one, if you divide the world in half, Eastern or Western hemispheres, East being like east of Italy, West being west of Italy, tell me, which hemisphere did the Hindu religion come from, East or West? Which hemisphere did Islam come from, East or West? Which hemisphere did Christianity come from, East or West? Which hemisphere did Judaism come from, East or West? Which hemisphere did Buddhism come from, East or West? Does that tell you something about the East? All right, next question. Next question is, where did the Industrial Revolution take place, Eastern Hemisphere or the West? Where did the technological revolution take place, East or West? Who put a man on the moon, East or West? That tells you something about the West, right? There are two fundamental worldviews that developed through civilization, through history. And when the church spread its message, when East and West, it took on the expression or the style of the particular hemisphere or worldview that it found itself in. So, I'll go to my first slide from my poor man's PowerPoint presentation. Image of the church, East and West. You notice two shapes, two colors, two lungs, as John Paul II said, but united as one. It's like the human race. One, we're all human, right? But we experience that humanness through a fundamentally feminine experience and a fundamentally masculine experience. Yet we're all human. It's a mystery. Church had the same character as it developed. East and West, two lungs. They were united as one. This is beautiful. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how God wants it to be. But unfortunately, there was already some disagreements started within the East over some Christological controversies. This is in the 5th century. You see a little break in the Eastern part of the church, but you notice the two are still intact. But the important one for us today to find out a little bit about who I am is this one here. In 1054 AD, there was the Great Divorce. The Great Divorce. They became more and more estranged, as man and woman will be at times, until it gets bad enough to be a divorce, a break. All right? So there's a separation from 1054 AD to today. This lung of the church called itself the Eastern Orthodox churches. This lung called itself the Roman Catholic Church. From 1054 AD till today, because they had a center in Rome, this had, of course, more complex, always 4 centers, not just one. So that's how the church is after the 1054 AD. And then finally, though, you notice there is a piece of the East back with the West. So we call this the Eastern Catholic Churches, and this is what I am. Okay? And there's actually about 20 of them. There's actually about 21 different ways to be Catholic. That's what's meant by diversity in the church, not so much ethnicity. That's beautiful, that's part of it. But diversity in the church means diversity of ritual, of rite, of ancient tradition and spirituality, a way of expressing and living out that one same faith, yes, with the same Pope. So we have, as you see, a partial unity. These are the Eastern Catholic churches, of which I'm just one. United with Rome, Rome with them. Unfortunately, though, we long, though, for the day when all the pieces come back together again, the way it's supposed to be. So you see, it's interesting that even in the very character of the church, there is the fundamental element of complementarity. The theology of the body is the answer to all of life's questions. It is. You could take to any aspect of life. John Paul II said that, this is my favorite quote of his. I'll never forget that, standing in St. Peter's Square and listening to him say this, booming over the microphone in 5 languages. Humanity, its dignity and its balance, at every moment, every place in the globe will depend upon who he is for her and who she is for him. Humanity, the very soul of humanity will rest upon that question. Who is a man for a woman? Who is a woman for a man? You get that right, you get everything else right. You get that wrong, you get everything else wrong. If you get it wrong, you have terrorism. If you get it wrong, you have a battle against terrorism that you cannot win. You get that wrong, you have the breakdown of the family, the erosion of vocations, environmental problems, strife between nations. Everything depends upon getting that right. Who is man for woman? Who is woman for man?